Hi everyone. So today we are going to learn about mechanical ventilator modes. This topic is very important. So I hope you all like the video. There are several types of ventilator modes that are depicted in this diagram. These are volume limited ventilator, pressure limited ventilation, pressure support ventilation, CPAP, BPAP, airway pressure release ventilation, adaptive support ventilation, neurally adjusted ventilatory assist ventilation, and inverse ratio ventilation. In the upcoming video, we are going to learn about these in detail. The first type of ventilators mode is volume limited ventilation. It is also called as volume controlled or volume cycled ventilation. In this type of mode, a clinician sets the peak flow rate, the tidal volume, the respiratory rate, positive and expiratory pressure, that is PEEP, and fraction of inspired oxygen, that is the FiO2. One thing that we have to learn here is that I have given this equation that just tells us the relationship between the peak inspiratory flow rate with the inspiratory and expiratory ratio and inspiratory time and expiratory time. What it tells here is that if we increase the peak inspiratory flow rate, the inspiratory time will become less. So there will be more of inspiration in less time and there will be less of expiration because the time is increased. Four types of volume limited ventilation. The first is control mechanical ventilation CMV, second is assist control AC, third is intermittent mandatory ventilation IMV, and fourth is synchronized intermittent mandatory ventilation SIMV. In control mechanical ventilation, the minute ventilation is determined entirely by the set respiratory rate and tidal volume. In this, the patient does not initiate additional breath by himself. It can be due to many reasons like pharmacological paralysis, heavy sedation, or coma. In the second type, that is the assist control mode, the clinician determines the minimal minute ventilation and sets the tidal volume and the respiratory rate. In this type of mode, the patient can increase the minute ventilation by triggering the additional breaths by himself. But the amount of tidal volume will be delivered to the patient that has been already set. The example is given ahead. If the clinician sets the respiratory rate to 20 breaths per minute and tidal volume to 500 ml, then the lowest possible minute ventilation will be 10 liters. That's simple, but what if the patient triggers 5 additional breaths? Then what happens? The ventilator will deliver the set amount of tidal volume, that is 500 ml for each breath. Then the lowest minute ventilation will become 25 breath into the tidal volume, that is 500 ml, is equal to 12.5 liters. The next is intermittent mandatory ventilation. It is also determining the minimal minute ventilation by setting the respiratory rate and tidal volume. Now, you all must be having the question that it is also same with assist control. Then what is the difference? The difference is, in this mode, the patient increases the minute ventilation by his spontaneous breathing. In assist control, if the patient initiated a breath, the set amount of tidal volume is delivered to the patient lungs. But in IMV mode, only the tidal volume which is delivering to the patient lungs by his spontaneous breathing will be added. No preset amount will be delivered by the ventilator. For example, we are taking the same example that we have taken in the assist control mode. If the tidal volume is 500 ml, respiratory rate is 20 beats per minute, then the lowest possible minute ventilation will be 10 liters. Assume the additional breaths as 5 breaths. So the tidal volume can be anything coming from the breaths itself, but we will assume here the tidal volume of these 5 breaths as 400 ml. Then 5 into 400 is equal to 2 liters. Then the total tidal volume going to the patient lungs per minute is 12 liters. This synchronized intermittent mandatory ventilation is a variation of intermittent mandatory ventilation in which the ventilator breaths are synchronized with the patient's inspiratory efforts. Its support can range from full to no support. Here is a comparison between the SIMV and AC mode. These two modes are frequently used forms of volume limited mechanical ventilation. In assist control mode, it is better for critically ill patients and for those who require constant tidal volume. Whether in SIMV mode, it is better for patient ventilator synchrony and better preservation of respiratory muscle functions. It also provides great control over the level of support. The second type of mode is the pressure limited ventilation. In this, the clinician sets the inspiratory pressure level and inspiratory and expiratory ratio, the respiratory rate, PEEP, FiO2. But here one thing is to note that tidal volume is variable in this type of mode. Now, you all will be having the question, what will happen if the tidal volume is not fixed? So, the work is done by the inspiratory pressure level because the tidal volume is dependent on the inspiratory pressure level, compliance, airway resistance, and the tubing resistance. More these things like more IPL, more good compliance, little airway resistance will contribute to increased tidal volume. In contrast, the peak airway pressure is constant during the pressure limited ventilation. What is peak airway pressure? It is the sum of the inspiratory pressure level and the applied PEEP. For example, if clinician sets the IPL of 20 cm of water and applied PEEP of 10 cm of water, then the peak airway pressure will be 30 cm of water. The pressure limited ventilations can be delivered using the same modes of ventilator that delivers the volume limited ventilation. These are the pressure limited CMV mode, pressure limited assist control mode, and pressure limited IMV or SIMV mode. The only difference here is that there is no set tidal volume, but there is set inspiratory pressure level. And I have stated above that what is the use of. The next type of ventilation is the pressure support ventilation. In this, the clinician sets the inspiratory pressure level, PEEP, and FiO2. But what is not set here is the respiratory rate and the tidal volume. So what happens when the respiratory rate is not set? So in this, the patient have to trigger each and every breath because of no set respiratory rate. In this, if we increase the pressure support mode, the tidal volume will automatically increase because of more pressure, more tidal volume is reaching to the patient lungs, thus decreasing the respiratory rate. Because what is the need of respiring more if you are getting more tidal volume and respiring less? So here is the equation I am providing. So the work of breathing is inversely proportional to the pressure support level. Thus, if we increase the pressure support mode, the patient have to respire less, thus decreasing the work of breathing of the patient. There are several advantages of using the PSV mode. It is well suited for weaning and it also gives the patient greater control over the inspiratory flow rate and the respiratory rate. One thing I want to mention here is that the PSV mode is frequently combined with the SIMV mode. In SIMV mode, there is set respiratory rate, and whatever the extra breath the patient is initiating is delivered via the PSV mode. Why? To overcome the resistance of ET and ventilator. There are several disadvantages also. Each breath must be initiated by the patient himself. Central apnea may occur if the respiratory drive is suppressed due to sedatives, critical illness, or hypocapnia due to excessive ventilation. Ventilator asynchrony can occur, and relatively high level of pressure support is needed during full ventilatory support to prevent the alveolar collapse, which is not comfortable as moderate levels. Next, the mode is continuous positive airway pressure, that is CPAP. In CPAP, the patient must initiate the all breaths. Because the ventilator does not cycle during CPAP, no additional pressure above the level of CPAP is provided. It is commonly used in the management of sleep-related breathing disorders, and cardiogenic pulmonary edema and obesity hypoventilation syndrome. The next mode is bilevel positive airway pressure, that is BPAP. In this, the clinician presets the inspiratory positive airway pressure and the expiratory positive airway pressure. It is used during NPPV, that is non-invasive positive pressure ventilation. The tidal volume is the difference between the IPAP and the EPAP. More the difference, more will be the tidal volume. And one more thing I want to say here is that people usually incorrectly use these terms BPAP as BiPAP. BiPAP is a portable ventilator manufacturer. It can also deliver BPAP. Next mode is airway pressure release ventilation, APRV. In APRV, high continuous positive airway pressure P-high is delivered for longer duration T-high and then falls to lower pressure P-low for shorter duration T-low. What happens is the transition from P-high to P-low deflates the lungs and eliminates the carbon dioxide and vice versa. Transition from P-low to P-high inflates the lung. The difference between P-high and P-low is the driving pressure. Larger differences are associated with greater inflation and deflation, while smaller differences are associated with smaller inflation and deflation. The size of tidal volume is related to both the driving pressure and the compliance, where the T-high and T-low determines the frequency of inflation and deflation. One thing note here is that spontaneous breathing is possible at P-high, not at P-low, because of more time at P-high. This is a novel feature of APRV that distinguishes it from another inverse ratio ventilation. There are two related modes of APRV. First is IMPRV, that is intermittent mandatory airway pressure release ventilation. In this, the cyclic inflation and deflation are synchronized to occur after every few spontaneous breaths. Second is biphasic intermittent positive airway pressure. It is also known as bivent, biphasic, and duo PAP. In this, T-low is longer during biphasic, allows more spontaneous breath to occur at P-low. Seventh type of mode is the adaptive support ventilation, that is ASV. In this ventilatory mode, whatever the patient respiratory mechanics, whether it is low or high, it will automatically adjust to the respiratory rate and inspiratory pressure that are necessary to achieve a desired minute ventilation. The next type of ventilator mode is neurally adjusted ventilatory assist ventilation, that is NAVA. It is a kind of investigational ventilatory mode in which the electrical discharge from the diaphragm is used to trigger the mechanical breath. What happens when the signal reaches a threshold? A catheter is placed inside a gastric tube that recognizes it and delivers the mechanical breath. What is neural ventilator coupling? It is the time between the spontaneous breath and the delivery of a mechanical breath. That is faster with NAVA than other conventional mode of mechanical ventilator. Thus, NAVA has the potential to improve patient ventilator synchrony. The last type of mode is the inverse ratio ventilation. This is not a mode of ventilation but rather a strategy to employ during volume limited or pressure limited mechanical ventilation. What does inverse mean? In this, the inspiratory time exceeds the expiratory time during IRV. In this, the inspiration and expiration ratio is reversed. Thus, it is helping in improving the oxygenation. More inspiration is happening and less expiration. There are two types: pressure limited inverse ratio ventilation, PLIRV, and volume limited inverse ratio ventilation, that is VLIRV. So, this is all about the modes of the ventilator. I hope you all liked the video. For any questions, comment down below and please do like, share and subscribe my video. Thank you all.